Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lyds, and we're back for some more Thronebreaker, and last time we completed what was a bit of a stealth mission of sorts, and may have helped Zoltan's wife to be? Probably, maybe, kinda, sorta. But, that's one of the cool things, I think, especially now that we've gotten into Mahakam, is so many of the encounters have not been just the straightforward outscore your opponent. It's been much more creative and unique types of objectives that we have, so hopefully we'll see more of that stuff in the future. There are one or two more points of interest in the area, one person I think right next to us that we'll want to chat with, and there's this spot over here, although I imagine despite there not being anything listed in this corner, it looks like we should probably at least give that a look. I imagine there's probably something there that just isn't known to us yet. So that's probably what we're looking at going after today. So let us begin. Let's see. Your Grace, the owner of this trading post, a dwarf by name of Branko Dahlberg, has invited you to browse his wares. How should I respond? Whoa! What? Just looking at the exchange rates here, that is absurd. What? In what world does paying 1,000 gold for 80 wood make any sense at all? I mean, we were talking a lot earlier, since arriving in Mahakam, about how are we going to do when it comes to collecting raw resources? Are we going to get the small increments of coins and of wood that we saw in Edirn, or is it going to suddenly be more like it was back in Lyria? And we won't be, scraping by with just a little bit of those things. Well, I have not been impressed thus far. It seems like every time we picked up a little bit of loot on the side of the road, it has been worth, well, very little in the way of both gold and wood. This, I can only see this making any sense, this first option, if for some reason gold is still reasonably plentiful, but wood is very scarce here. But, I mean, that's just, it seems ridiculous. Whereas selling 400 wood to get 600 gold, I mean, the exchange rate makes a whole lot more sense, but this does raise an eyebrow, or two, for that matter. I am kind of curious if we walk away here, can we still choose to come back to this guy on a later occasion and maybe make the exchange then? Because I was not really thinking about gold and wood separately. I was kind of thinking of them collectively. I was assuming that if we weren't getting a lot of gold, we wouldn't be getting a lot of wood. Not that one would be much more plentiful than the other. So I think we pass for now. Okay, good. And it looks like we can come back here on a later occasion if needed. So that's actually a nice little luxury we'll have in that case, because we might find that at some point in time we just really need wood, or we just really need gold, and this gives us a little bit more flexibility. So, let's see. In that case, looks like we cross this bridge, we can go over to this corner that I was referring to before. And I might also still loop back up here, otherwise we can ignore this bridge and go up here and go straight to this spot. I think we still cross the bridge now. And see what the deal is over here, because again, although there isn't anything listed here on our map at the moment, that really looks like that's going to collapse on us. Which may be what's about to happen, but there's definitely going to be something, right? What is that? There's at least recruits. Okay. Yeah, Lyds, just mess with the stuff that's preventing an avalanche from happening. That sounds like a great idea. Let's see. 10 recruits, I mean, we'll definitely take it. Those can be hard to come by sometimes. 4 wood, 21 gold. Both very, very small numbers, but it's not like we're getting way more gold than we are wood. I mean, usually, I think, or gold is slightly more plentiful. Things tend to cost more gold than they cost wood, upgrades-wise, so I don't think that's a huge surprise. Oh, what do we have here? A golden chest. I knew there had to be something big in this corner. So let's see what we've unearthed here. Gabor's Igrin. The animated card for Gwent multiplayer. Absolutely. We will totally claim that. Awesome. I mean, I imagine that means there's probably not anything over here, but alright. Glad we made a point of stopping over here in that case. I believe that'll be everything in this corner now. So can we go up this way? No, we have to cross back over the bridge. Shouldn't be much of a problem. So then I think we're looking to go back up here, where we're expecting to run into a different point of interest. Possibly, I didn't think it was that guy. No, it's further along, so I'm not sure what this is going to be all about. I suppose it could just be a random conversation.
You can count on us, Queenie. Ivor'll be a wall at your back, stout and strong. You're no cold without a beard. What are you poking me for? Ah, scrounging for coin, no doubt.
Maybe.
Righty then, take this pouch and kindly get off my arse.
Oh, okay. Sure, we'll take 100 gold. Right, that's kind of nice, I suppose. Alright, this is the encounter in question. Looks like a couple people having an argument on a bridge with some kind of caravan that they have behind them that they're trying to ship. Oh, they might have broken.
I told you to hold your horses or you'll shake the hitch loose.
Oh, now you're a bleeding expert, are you? You overloaded the damn cart, that's why it's busted.
A wagon lay strewn across the middle of the road. Behind it stood others, some loaded with gold, jewels, and other valuables, others groaning under barrels of pickled meat. Each dwarf had his own theory about how the accident had come about, and thundered it out to all and sundry, peppered with choice invectives.
Oh.
An odd caravan.
Meve said.
They don't look like merchants.
Nay, they ain't.
Gabor answered.
Dwarves of the Ferns clan, carrying gifts for the Drake. Remember Keltullis? When he took roost here, Ferences fought him for near a century. Then the dragon got weary of fighting and they realised he weren't going nowheres, so they cut a deal. He didn't bother them. They give him what he needs.
Well, well. And these offerings they send often?
Every week. Excuse me, got to separate them lads, or they tear out each other's beards. Hey there! Cool your idiot heads!
Okay, I was noticing, very first thing, was the title of this encounter here. The word draconic made me think that perhaps we're about to encounter some kind of, maybe not full-blown dragon, but a draconid of some variety. But no, it has something to do about this Keltullis that we've heard about before. And they're apparently giving gifts to Keltullis, maybe as sort of a way to make it so that this dragon does not pester them and, well, attack them and maybe destroy all of Mahakam.
Gabor managed to douse his brethren's fiery tempers, but the wagon still lay across the road, blocking all traffic.
Queen,
Said Xavier.
there's an easy repair. I have the tools, the parts. Need but your permission.
Of course. Go see what can be done.
Yeah, don't see why not. Then again, it's never that simple. It's never that simple, is it?
Xavier did indeed make quick work of the problem. Within moments, the
Hold
wagon
on.
was
There's
rolling
always a catch.
smoothly down the road, good as new,
Well, shaft me, your highness.
said one of the dwarves.
Your engineer's got a pate like stewed meat, but he kens his trade. That's for certain.
I'll convey your words to him. Or at least part of them.
Me and the
Yeah.
lads will be on our way now, but first, take this. Bit of gold by way of thanks.
Oh? I mean, is there any reason not to accept it? I mean, again, this just feels like this is way too easy. Way too simple. Why are we just casually waltzing on over here, successfully repairing their cart without any sacrifice on our end at all, and getting rewarded for it? It feels like something is going to happen to complicate this situation, surely, or, you know, only by refusing to accept pay to receive some other kind of reward, and that's gonna become relevant later on. Then again, maybe I'm just super overthinking this. I don't know. I guess we'll just take it.
Thank you.
Meve said, accepting the surprisingly
Except it's
heavy
40
pouch.
gold, which is
In
basically
wartime,
nothing.
every copper counts.
The dwarf bowed.
But every
and
copper
heartily
counts,
shook the
except
snow off his
when it
beard,
doesn't.
Then rejoined his caravan. Within a few moments, the wagons had disappeared around the bend.
Yeah, so basically took the known quantity rather than the unknown quantity because was purely a guess as to whether refusing the reward would amount to anything at all. So, alright, I mean, who knows? Maybe there was something to be said for refusing it there. We're still on low morale, though I think that's left over from when we were, well, the aftermath of Rayla leaving and everything that came with that. So now we're on the other side of this bridge, And it looks like... Oh, we've been down here. Okay, yeah, so head over to... This looks like a village of sorts. A cave up here, which I imagine is going to have some kind of encounter. And then going further to the west will eventually take us toward the main quest here. So let us proceed. Oh. And... One moment, sir. Let us rob you before we speak to you. Now we may speak to you. Milady, this forge belongs to a famous armorer by the name of Nico Skaggs. Truly, never in my life have I seen a finer studded leather and mail. He's willing to sell, but not for coin, for he is buried up to his neck in it. Instead, he asks for labor, new hands he can train to work at his forge. Lose 4 recruits, gain a card fragment, or say no way. I mean, whenever we see the card fragment, you need to have a really, really good excuse not to take it. I mean, 4 recruits is an expensive price, although we've basically spent 0 recruits outside of situations like this in actual encounters because we've not yet purchased a single card. So I think we can afford to sacrifice some here, especially since we did just recently acquire, what was it, 10 more from the place over in the corner that we were just exploring by where the golden chest was. So yeah, I think we have to do it. Okay, and working toward this card, although unfortunately we're not that close to completing it. That's our first fragment. I feel like we still have several that we've not completed. So hopefully we still get the chance to finish those up. Looks like all with that dude. There is some loot to be had over here. Numbers stay small, though. They do stay small indeed. Hold on. I mean, we have to do this, right? I mean, we just have to. That's quite the view. That is quite the view. That's like desktop background right there. Alright, but back to the task at hand. Do we know of anything for certain in this area here? Not really. I imagine we'll find something in this village of some variety, and then definitely something at that cave. Whoa! That was comparatively a lot more gold. Not sure why, but okay. Hold on. Signpost. Just a fast travel spot. Useful. The monies. Comparatively, much less than what we just... What the heck was that? Okay. I guess we'll just make our way over to whatever the heck that was. Oh, okay. Honestly, whoa. I'm relieved to see that it is just fire. At first, it's just out of the corner of the screen there. It looked like, oh, something terrible is happening here. So, okay, that's, I'm pretty sure, what we were seeing. It looked a lot more than just a single house on fire. This sounds like a dragon. Because it is.
A pillar of smoke rose above the mountains, and a sooty aroma filled the air.
Fire?
Gabor said, then took a deep sniff.
Perhaps a bolt struck some barren trees?
No,
Meve said curtly.
I know that scent too well. All Edirn reeked of it. It's the smell of burning homes.
Oh.
The Lyrians quickened their gait. Soon they saw the town fully aflame, and a roaring, furious dragon above it.
That's your Keltullis?
Gascon asked, shielding his eyes from the sharp glare emanating from the city.
I assume you don't have 2 dragons.
Perfectly harmless.
Dinna Ken was get his knickers in a bunch.
The dwarf said, grabbing his axe from his belt.
Queen, we got to make haste to the rescue.
Okay. I hope you don't mean to say that we are about to fight a dragon, because that cannot end well. Help fight the dragon or continue our journey. Oh, man. I mean, we can't say no, but then again, even witchers even Witchers make a point of doing any and everything they can to avoid fighting dragons because they know they are unbelievably powerful. So this makes me more than a bit nervous.
Reynard,
Meve called out.
have our men wet their cloaks for a modicum of fire protection. We move as soon as they're done.
Your Grace, they are but common soldiers. To fight a dragon.
I know.
I
We
know.
must help them, or at least try.
Oh dear.
While Reynard went to pass on the order, Meve turned to Gabor,
This dragon, has it any weakness?
Fear not,
said the somber dwarf.
except that fondness for raw meat.
Meve nodded and swallowed dryly. Despite the cold, she felt sweat pour down her scalp.
Yeah. What could possibly go wrong, right? What could possibly go wrong?
Stifling her fear, Meve gave the order to attack, and her soldiers rode into the flaming city. From up close, Keltullis looked even more terrifying.
Oh no.
Though enormous, he moved with shocking agility, like a lizard scurrying over sand. With one swing of his paw, he snapped the necks of 3 dwarves, then bisected a fourth with a powerful bite. After that, he turned his attention to the Lyrians.
More of you.
He said, twisting his bloody maw into a horrifying smile.
Good.
Say, has anyone tried dragon diplomacy? By any chance? Maybe not. Oh dear. Fury of Keltullis 60 appears to be the power of Keltullis here. Before Meve arrived in Mahakam, she had only ever imagined dragons, fantasized about them based on worn engravings and troubadours' tales. Now, would she not only see one in the flesh, she would attempt to slay it. The very thought paralyzed her with fear. How to wound a beast with scales harder than steel, or defend against fire fiercer than that of the hottest furnace. Eliminate Keltullis. Special rules. Call the main objective. It's short and bound, just 1 round. I mean, I don't know how we're taking out Keltullis here, but I guess we're gonna give it a shot. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay. Also, for what it's worth, we are on low morale here. So this could be an encounter that is worth praying before at one of the altars because, well, we are at a bit of disadvantage at the moment. Let's see what we can figure out before we get things started here. No, okay, no, there is still, an opponent here. They don't seem to have any cards, so I'm not sure if they're playing anything. Every turn on turn start, spawn fire on the opponent's side. After 3 turns on turn start, move the opponent's side and damage all units there by 1. I'll tell us Fire Breath. Every turn on turn start, spawn fire on the opponent's side for 3 turns. Okay, so it seems like it is just this card that we're dealing with. And this is sort of a different way of marking that. So, it's all about damage. It's all about damage. And, oh. Oh. I was wondering if moving it to the other row with the Stray Slinger might slow it down. But no, it's not just moving up by 1 every turn, or every 2 turns. It's moving to the opposite side and damaging us, so even if it moves over here, moving it to this row is not really going to help us all that much. I mean, we can still deal damage to it, but... Okay, so if damage is key... Don't have anything in our graveyard, right? No. So Skull, I mean, if our units get destroyed, could potentially still work, but otherwise, not so much. Isbel with the healing. Starts with 2? Not sure why that is. Oh, because these guys are on the board and they took damage from being on low morale. I think that's why. But I don't think healing is going to make a big difference here, because you are not a damaging card and we need as much damage as possible, so I think we dump Isbel. Stray's Cavalry is a tiny bit of damage, but I think that's probably going to be too little too late. Alchemist, you have to be a boss, right? Yeah. There's no way that's going to work. So, Alchemist, probably not a huge factor, because again, we need to destroy Keltullis, not just outscore Keltullis. Xavier. not relevant, at least not at present. Unless we can get Rayla. But we lost Rayla, and we haven't changed around our deck since then? Oh no. Okay. Yeah, so that means both Reynard and Xavier are not terribly helpful anymore. Oh dear. Oh dear, okay. Setting a row on fire is, I mean, still just a tiny bit of damage to a huge target. So I don't love that. And I think we dumped Gascon, because again, this is something that puts up points on our side, but doesn't deal any damage. And I think we're just going to see if, I mean, Keltullis can potentially destroy our cards. So we may get some units in our graveyard to power up Skull. I'm not sure that's going to be terribly effective. But I mean, this is at least the potential to be moderately useful, or at least have some use at all, whereas Gascon is quite literally useless.
Behind me! Stay together!
Okay, so I'm not exactly sure we're going to succeed on our first attempt here. But we'll see what we can do. So, in terms of packing as much damage as possible, still don't really know what to expect from Bone Talisman. That is, I suppose, a bit of a wild card. We do have 10 damage from Gabor. We do have 10 damage from Alzur's Thunder. That's something. But technically speaking, Stray's Cavalry is the thing that is most time sensitive. We'd want to get you to damage the opponent as quickly as possible. Whereas these guys, we can use whatever. Same with Stray's Bomber, though. I mean, the thing about this is you're going to move rows in a few turns, which means there's very limited time to benefit from this. And we may still go for it while we can, but we're only going to get 2 turns worth of value from it. And then, you know, comparing this to this is a guaranteed 1 damage per turn. This is 33% chance of 2 damage procced twice. So, you know, feel free to do your math there to figure out which bet you'd like to take, but I guess we'll go for you. Because if we don't use you now, then you are completely, or if we don't use you now or on our next turn, you're completely useless, whereas Stray's Cavalry does still work, even when you move to the other row. So I think we do begin with you.
Catch!
Can we actually, hold on. Move to the opponent's side. And damage all units there. Does that mean... At first I assumed that meant that it was going to go to the opposite row, which would mean our range row. And that it was going to only damage units in that range row by 1. And so I was going to say we might deliberately play units in that range row to get them destroyed, so that Skull becomes more powerful. But on second look, it appears as though perhaps Keltullis might destroy everything, or damage everything in both rows on our side, in which case it doesn't really matter where we play stuff. It's going to get hit no matter what. So I think we just play you, and maybe we put you in the range row just in case. But set this on fire, and I guess... Oh, hold on. Can we still hit Keltullis with Scepter of Storms even once it moves to our side of the board? That I'm not sure about either, to be honest with you. I think we're just using this as quickly as we can. Should get a little bit extra damage out of these guys when we use our leader ability, so that's a little bit of additional value.
Haven't killed the dragon. It has to be possible.
Okay, well, I mean, did set this row on fire, so again, that actually does benefit us if these units get destroyed, because that powers up Skull. And we may end up using Skull to damage our own row so that we get rid of Keltullis. But, okay, so now we technically would like to use Stray's Cavalry to mark you. And this might be the single card that we want to play in the melee row to avoid getting fire, because this one does need to survive to continue to deal the damage. So I think we go here. Hit you like so. And I believe Keltullis is about to move to our side and damage everybody. Okay, no, it is just that row. Okay, hold on. Keltullis changes.
He's raging now. Watch out!
Okay. What do we have now? Every turn start, force 2 adjacent units to duel this unit. After 3... Ah, no! Oh, if we knew. If only we knew that was going to be what would happen. Then cards like Gascon could have been great for this. But alas, not anymore. Okay. I'm also just checking the fine print here to see things like damage a unit by 10. So are these... Do they specifically say an enemy unit or just any unit at all? Because technically speaking, when Keltullis is on our side of the board, we may not be able to target it with all of our abilities here. But I assume it's still going to switch back in a few turns. It's still marked. After 3 turns, move to the enemy's melee row. And since it's currently on our side, by enemy's row, that might actually mean this. Rather than our melee row, that might mean switching back over here. So it looks like Keltullis is going to change abilities depending on where Keltullis is. Over there in Keltullis' original range row, it's all the fire. In our range row, it's dueling adjacent units. And we might actually want to have a big unit adjacent to Keltullis to maximize the damage that we deal to Keltullis. And we don't know what happens when it's in either of the melee rows. So, I mean, we definitely don't want to do Alzur's Thunder right now. But I think we probably go for... Which row? Gabor needs to be... Oh, no, okay, it's not restricted to rows. No matter where we put him, we can go either left hook or bottomless pockets, because obviously we want left hook here. I guess we could go Gabor right here and hit you. Yeah, so Scepter of Storms does not work when Keltullis is on this side of the board, on our side. So I mean, technically, Straight Slinger is bigger than Gabor. If we use this, we're going to have to move one of our own units as well, which we don't really want to do right now, because we would have to damage an important unit. So I think we go Gabor right here.
Oh, could murder a pint.
We're going to casually punch a dragon in the face from point blank. We'll also get Knickers out, which actually would have been amazing if Knickers happened to go right next to Keltullis. But there's the dueling. And hey, I mean, Keltullis is down to 28, which is saying something at least. But once again, it's a little bit trickier when Keltullis is on our side of the board and we did lose our Strays Cavalry, so that means the mark is no longer significant. We could hit Keltullis with Alzur's Thunder now, since Keltullis doesn't have any units adjacent to it, so that means we wouldn't be dealing damage to ourselves. However, we still have an opportunity to hit Keltullis here by using the Stray Slinger, playing it right next to Keltullis, moving Keltullis, probably moving Scepter Storms, and we won't be able to move Knickers, so we actually don't have any risk of having some damage to ourselves here, I don't think. So, just 2 damage, but we're about to deal a whole lot more damage than that. And I think Keltullis will still take out Knickers here, which might not be a bad thing, to tell you the truth. It's just a little more value from Knickers, probably more so than we would have gotten if Knickers had consumed a card from our hand, because we don't really care about how many points Knickers has. Yeah, even with the immunity. Okay, so what happens in... Oh, no, regeneration! I don't like that. Hold on. What does it actually do, though? Because I was about to say, it's getting fairly low. Every turn on turn start, heal this unit by 10. After 3 turns on turn start, move to the range row. Okay, so that looks like those are all the things that Keltullis will do. Is fire from here, dueling from here, and healing from here. Although, with 3 rounds of Scepter of Storms... Ooh. This is 6 that's 6 damage. That's 10 damage. We're so close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we were to use Skull at this stage, which is still not enough. We are so close to having it here. But then Keltullis is going to heal off much of the damage we deal. I think we still have to go for it, though, right? I think we probably still have to go for it. Get the damage while we can. But we're going to fall just shy of getting the job done on this turn. And that means Keltullis is going to get healed. And that means... and if our leader ability was back on that turn, we would have had just enough to do it. Oh, man. Okay, well, I think we have learned... We would like to have our units in the range row. Actually... Okay, so Keltullis just can't get moved. Does it have restraint? No, I was kind of curious to see. I mean, if we moved Keltullis, could we stop Keltullis from healing itself? Not quite. Not quite. I'm afraid not. Still dropping it low, but it will get healed one more time here.
Vulnerable. We must strike now.
Okay, so back to fire form. And still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in our graveyard, which means potentially 7 damage from Skull. 2 damage from Scepter of Storms. That's 9. It's still not enough. Not yet, at least. Stray Slinger. I mean, I think we put everything next to each other.
Storm knock out one of your teeth.
Oh, but we need to move you. I don't like that. But we have to. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be really close here. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9. Do we have just enough? Hold on. Hold on. Let's do this first. We're down to 7. Just to confirm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do it. I think we've done it. I think we've done it. Perfectly harmless, that little dragon over there. No problem at all.
That day, many Lyrians perished, either to the dragon's all-consuming fire or to its flesh-rending claws. Yet their sacrifice was not in vain. Together with the dwarves, they were able to grievously wound Keltullis, forcing him to flee. The howls of the wounded monster rang throughout the valley.
Okay, I was gonna say, even if we succeeded there, I had my doubts as to whether we would actually completely just kill a dragon. As I said, even witchers do not do that, and we are no witchers. So, grievously wound, yes, but I have a feeling Keltullis will live to fight another day.
That's right, howl, you scurvy snake. Shouldn't they ever attacked us, eh? Damn fuel lizard.
I mean, I wouldn't exactly provoke Keltullis again.
Meve, that's Vavrenik, elder of the town and all the Ferences.
Okay.
My regards and condolences.
Tain't so bad. If nae for ye, wouldn't there be a stone left unrubbled?
I mean, better than it would have been if we had not showed up, but I still have to imagine that practically your entire town just got wiped out, so I'm a little surprised that you aren't a little more concerned than that still. That's a pretty big deal.
To be honest, when I caught wind some human queen come to Mahakam looking for aid, I said a crocus would sprout twixt my cheeks afore I'd vote aye on that.
But then said queen helped you fight off a dragon, and now you will totally help us, right?
Gonna be a fear to look in my breeches after, but changed my mind. After what I saw today, what ye did for us, you've the support and undying gratitude of all Ferences.
All right, that's more like it.
Thank you. Faced with a Nilfgaardian peril, that means a great deal.
Indeed.
Forgive me for interrupting this tear-tugging scene of interracial reconciliation, but I can't hold back no longer. Vavrenik, double chase. What happened? Why'd Keltullis attack?
Good question. Very good question.
I ken as much as ye, meaning squat diddly. Just flew up, started spewing flames, half the town lit up in a flash.
I imagine there's more to it than you are not currently admitting.
Sheepshank. 300 years I've been a good neighbour.
Yeah, it can't be that simple, right? Oh, well, today Keltullis felt like devouring an entire town. That was it. No, there's gotta be more reason than that.
What's done's done. Gotta think about the future. The Drake's just taking a breather. Gotta finish him off for his regained form.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. I imagine this will not be the last that we ever see or hear of Keltullis.
Meaning we haven't much time. He heals like an alchemist's pup. And the nearest guards are miles away. He'll be up flying again before they get here.
Aye, that's what I thought. Perhaps, your grace, you'd,
Actually, follow up and kill the dragon for good? Yeah, see about that.
What? Jest you must.
I ken you're tired through the fight, dinna want to risk casualties, etc. But remember, the beast's sleeping on a bed of gold and rubies.
I mean, that may be, but our prime objective here is not to acquire gold and rubies. Sure, that might help us, but our primary objective is to get back Lyria and Rivia and fight off the Nilfgaardians. I mean, maybe if we got the gold and rubies, we could more easily get the support of the remaining dwarves and then use that support to more successfully fend off the Nilfgaardians, yes. However, if we lose all of our troops, including Meve, trying to fight a dragon in the process, then that doesn't exactly benefit our cause at all.
All belonging by right to Bruther, of course. But if quibbling some wandered off, he'd nae notice.
Does alter the equation? I mean, fighting a dragon once was a lot, and I did not expect it to go as well as it did go. But tempting fate twice might be a tall task. I mean, then again, do we really have a choice in the matter? I mean, we have to do it, right? We have to at least try, don't we?
I admit that does alter my calculations. Besides, the dragon was badly wounded.
I mean, even if I totally disagree with this entire thing, just the premise alone that we can fight the injured dragon, and if we don't do it now, then the dragon is going to get healed, and then all bets are off. We probably have to, right? I mean, we don't have to, but we kinda have. You know what I mean.
Putting it featherly, blood poured out of him like a leaky bladder. Just needs a coup de grace.
Yeah. I still don't think it's gonna be that simple.
Fine. I'll do the deed.
This is still a dragon we're talking about, right?
Ken did see the light.
Oi, Vavrenek. This lady's gonna make your rump a regular crocus garden.
Okay?
Aye. Queen's doing us a great service. One that'll profit us both.
Yeah, I mean, this is like way more than a great service. As I said, even witchers do not fight dragons. Professional monster slayers do not fight dragons. Here we are, this random queen who happens to be rolling into town. We just happen to go and slay or not quite slay, but fend off this dragon that was fighting you. All you can say is, oh, hey, want to go finish the job for us? Because we don't want to do it.
So, where is Keltullis' lair?
North of here. It's a vast cavern. You canna miss it.
Ah, is that the big cave that we saw on the map that we expected would have some kind of encounter in it? I bet.
Meve bid farewell to Vavrenek and set out on her way. Did her way lead to the dragon's lair, you ask? Shh. Let's not spoil the surprise.
What? What? What is that sass? Alright, well, I imagine that yes, it is this point of interest over here that we were eyeing before. So let's take a quick look at the rubble here.
That stings. Got a blow on it a little.
Trust a boarhead, and what do you get? A singed bahookie.
Okay.
Brown, red, gold. Every dragon's a right bastard. Wait! I'm coming with ye! Gonna beat that scaly bastard so hard he'll shoot fire out his arse!
Oh. Okay. Sure. I guess. Welcome to the team, I suppose. Right, there's a little bit of additional loot over here. I mean, I suppose with all the rubble and whatnot, that's... Oh, I was expecting for it to be primarily wood, not gold, but hey, 6 wood. Alright, and maybe it is truly the case that we're getting wood in much smaller increments than we are getting gold. That might be just about it, at least in the immediate vicinity, but of course, if we are to head further up north, then we are expecting to, I imagine, encounter Keltullis once again in his actual lair, and we will see as to just how much this dragon has actually been wounded, or is it back at full strength already and going to pose even more of a threat this time round? We shall see, or maybe, as the storyteller was saying, maybe we'll just say we're gonna do that, but then just casually make our way over in this direction and completely ignore the fact that there is a dragon that still awaits us. But anyways, I think this is a good place for us to wrap up here. Did not expect to be fighting a dragon. Certainly not like that. But, hey, we might be in for some more dragon action coming up soon. So I'll catch you next time.